öğret. دوما عندك شيء بعدين اشياء تتفرج. هي صبح، عندك رجل سوري هي هو عندك ريفيرب بوستانتي ولا عندك شيء تبدا ريفيرب ولا هي
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day it is to be not only watching Counter-Strike, but here in Malta as well. It's Blast Bounty Season 2 presented by Polymarket. We're going to have so much fun because our LAN playoffs has begun, or just about to. I'm going to be your host, Nati, and standing beside me, we got Vu, we got Maui. Maui, I'm going to start with you because I feel like I can trust your energy and your judgment. I'm still warming up to Vu a little bit, all right?
What are you trying to say about Vu over here, all right?
I'm just saying,
he's full of energy. Look at him, he can't even contain it. He's growing vertically because he's got so much energy.
That is true. I have all the energy in the world for this matchup, for these games.
Okay, all right. So then where are you sitting, Maui? Vu is that high on the energy?
I feel like the only thing that's criminal about this is that I think usually you save the best for last. It might be the best for the first. That's the only scary prospect here.
Well, let's talk about what's happened over the last couple of days, right? Because it's been a while since we've gotten to see a little bit of Counter-Strike 4 Blast Bounty. Of course, we had a couple of days breaks to be able to come here to Malta, but we did also have our draft show yesterday. And whilst I was sitting here hoping that there was a team with a big enough ego out there to pick Spirit early on, it just wasn't the case. So what do you guys surmise from that draft show that we had yesterday?
I think the teams are taking this seriously. They're coming in, they're not joking around and picking Spirit early on, all right? We wanted to see it. We wanted to see a crazy pick, but I think that benefits the North American hopefulness in myself that Liquid at least had all the plans. They had plenty of time to prepare for this, to see exactly how they're gonna get destroyed.
This is the problem with VRS. Everybody just wants LAN victories, and so who can really blame them, okay? Everybody wants to see if they can just get a little upset versus one of the teams that are at the lower end of the most wanted rosters. And so, yeah, you obviously had Astralis, the Mongols, some of those being the early picks. People are scared of the big dogs in MOUZ and Spirit.
I am loving, by the way, looking at this, the bounties that are on a lot of teams. Of course, Spirit and MOUZ being our favorites, it makes sense that they're up there with how much bounty they have on their heads. But you're looking at the Spirit Liquid matchup, and Spirit have half of what Liquid have half of what Spirit have. And I'm like, is that indicative of their chances? Is it a 50-50 for them?
I'm not wavering on this at all. This is gonna be Donk's best event ever. This is not indicative of their chances. This is unfortunately indicative of their performance. I mean, I think they played really well online. The problem is Spirit coming into LAN, I think it's just gonna be light work.
What about the Astralis Pain one? Because that's also a similar sort of 50-50, 50% of the bounty that's on them.
I'm not sure if I would surmise too much from the bounty differential there. More so just that I think it's actually a really close matchup. It's one that I'm actually kind of surprised that the numbers lie in those sort of directions, because that's one where you might see a bounty hunter being a team that actually topples the most wanted, because those teams have a little bit of history. I'm sure we'll get into it before that individual matchup, but it's a bit of a major rematch, so some revenge maybe to be had.
Yeah, I mean, that one's happening tomorrow, unfortunately, where we might be able to seek revenge there. Of course, Mongols getting picked by FaZe as well there, Vu. I feel like that one's not really too surprising.
I mean, this is the only ones where there was a question mark if there might be some changes. Maybe you have Pain against Mongols. Maybe you have FaZe against Astralis. You know, you have the slight change up. Didn't end up happening. I think Pain, it made too much sense for them to pick Astralis. And when you're going into this one for FaZe, what, you're going to pick Maus because they changed the player? You're going to pick Spirit because they didn't look great online? It's obvious who you're picking here.
The only thing that might have been the little curveball here is because FaZe shares a permaban with Spirit, they could get a slight edge in the veto in that game of chicken to see, as you probably just force Spirit to ban out Inferno. But nah, everybody just wants to make sure that they can play the weakest opposition possible.
And of course, the last matchup that we haven't talked about here, Maus up against 3D Max. Again, put in a position 3D Max where they had to choose between Maus or Spirit. Probably not going to go down that Spirit line there. So yeah, Maus, it just feels like the more obvious pick for them.
I don't think there was a good pick for 3D Max. I mean, I think both of these Spirit or Maus are just much better in the current form. As much as 3D Max, they had some good games online. They took down Foot, they took down Magic. Maus is just a better team, and Maus dispatches of teams of 3D Max's level consistently.
I was surprised that in the draft show, their coach, Wasink, said that they wanted this Maus pick. They liked the veto. And then I just started looking at the simple veto numbers, and I was like, you want to play a map you have a 0% win rate on. Confusing stuff. Some big talk hopefully can backs it up, but I would doubt.
Okay, you're person next to doubt. I got a little bit more faith in that. Like I said, it was a couple of days, so maybe they're a little bit more prepared than what we're giving them credit for. And asking you guys who your favorite team is in this tournament right now feels like beating a dead horse to some extent. It's going to be Spirit. But instead, we can have a little bit of fun and talk about what players might be our favorite. Because if you guys head on over to Blast TV, you can make a fantasy team just for our LAN playoffs here in Malta. So this is all you guys. I obviously don't want to sway you. I might have a couple of comments here or there, but who do you want to start off with? Who's your strongest?
The diamond pick is the hardest one. Okay,
Yeah.
We've got Frozen, great player. Stare, great. We've got lots of great choices.
Can't complain.
But I'm gonna edge towards Donk just slightly.
Just a slight favorite in Donk there. I actually think that they should have changed the diamond pick for this one to only have Donk, because everybody should just be picking that. And then for platinum, then you can include everybody else that was in the diamond category. That was a surefire pick there.
I mean, there were a couple of percentages for the other players. So some people going for the underdogs outside of Donk.
Some people play worst team wins. Worst team wins.
That's true. That is a game mode, yeah. It's a little friendly league. Now, of course, not going to make it onto the leaderboards if you select anybody else. But yeah, I guess for the platinum pick there, actually something that you would have to consider. I'd say that there's a lot more options here, Vu. Personally, I'm going to probably have to pick an in-game leader, which I know is a little crazy. What's even crazier is there's two in-game leaders in the platinum category. There's Twist and there's Exertion. I think you know who I'm going to go with, though.
Both are reasonable picks. I think what's crazy is that Donk has, 90% pick rate, and Elige has 30%?
Yeah.
Do they know that these teams are about to play each other?
Exactly.
Elige is not going to be in this tournament.
Easy way to get an edge in this one, for sure, is go for Exertion over somebody like Elige. But for that simple fact that, the chance that Liquid win that matchup is minuscule.
But you're going for the glory.
Yeah.
If you're picking Elige. We're not picking Elige. we're smart. We're picking Xerxton.
Yes.
That's exactly who I picked as well.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. For gold there, this is where I think options open up just a bit. But if you really think that that Spirit is just going to dominate completely, you could go for Magix. On the other hand, I'd say for the Maus players, it's probably the safer option. You're probably getting the second place team there. So I'd say Spinks. I think that's my safe one.
No, I'm going to instill a new rule, right? Everyone else gets to play at home with an advantage, that they can pick up to 2 players from a same team. But for this desk specifically, you can't pick 2 players from the same team. I'm going to make it that you have to pick a different player from each, only one player from each team, I should say. So we're going to have 5 different
Shiza.
teams being picked here. You're not going to play by the rules that everyone else is. They need an advantage. You guys are the analysts.
All right,
for a
all right.
reason.
I know who I'd get. I know
Okay.
who I'd get.
Get me safe.
No shot.
Get me safe. Get me safe. He's going to be the best player of the stage.
Oh my goodness.
Get me safe.
No, I would have gone Jacob. I would have gone Jacob.
I think there are better phase players in the later rounds, Maui.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I actually like where you're going with that because I get what you would do in like maybe the bronze category,
Yeah.
for example. There. Okay. All right. Looking ahead, the foresight is there. Okay, I like it. Yeah, sure.
So
go
we're going
with
with
safe.
safe? Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like the new rule.
And then in silver, I think we have to go. What, we got Tikawak there, Maui. We have Fozy. Okay, sorry, misspoke on that one. We got Big Uzera and we have Tikawak and we have Kersey.
Nah, I'm not going with a 3D Max player. I don't think that there's a the likelihood they beat Mouse is so low.
We should
Why
let
not?
Big Uzera
Why not
open.
Jorko? Why not Jorko? We're not getting a liquid player in the bronze category, right?
True.
Yeah,
True.
no,
Jorko's a good
I'm
one.
taking Jorko
He
on
can
this.
perform.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, even if they don't win, he could be putting up some good numbers for the fantasy team.
It's
either
possible.
It was for me. That was either. I think yeah. Jorko's going to be fun. He might just get ruined by Spirit, but maybe the rookies got it in him.
I have faith that
Okay.
he's going to get destroyed. Into the bronze category, do
Kept me
we have a
guessing there.
phase player to pick? Natiu. I have so much faith in
Yeah.
Natiu. I've been
Yeah.
talking for months
Yeah.
about how he's the best player on phase in the bronze category. The only phase in the bronze category. He's the one we're going for. I think. Darkmeister? No, they're losing.
No.
to-
I was just saying, now he's not beating it all the
Nate Yu,
time.
I'm in on Nate Yu. Best French player at the event.
Okay. So I know that I put in the extra level of difficulty on for you guys, but how
Yeah.
confident do you feel in this that you're going to get some good numbers?
Top 15%.
I was okay.
Top 15. Yeah.
When Donk has his best event of all time,
Yeah.
as we've established, will definitely happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter who else is on that roster.
No. I would probably give Exertion the captain just because I just want that extra 0.2% on that boost, or
Yeah.
increase that multiplier. That's what
Okay.
it is.
That's one of our reasonable picks that we would have picked even without this
Yeah. Actually,
crazy rule.
Yeah.
So Exertion makes
That's
the
true.
most
I
sense.
did only bring it in when you got to the goals.
It was fun. It
tier,
was
and
worth
then-
it. It was worth trying it.
All right, well, you guys can definitely head on over to Blast.tv. You can put in your fantasy team as well without the extra rules that I added on for our analysts who needed that extra level of difficulty there. Instead, we can have a look at our schedule. We've talked about our draft show. We've made our fantasy team here, but what's more important is exactly when we're going to get to see these teams playing. Of course, we did allude to FaZe, Mongols, Pain Astralis. They're going to be tomorrow. Instead, today, we get to focus up and have a look at what is going to be a lot of enjoyment here because 3D Max up against Mouse and Liquid up against Spirit. So 2 heavy favorites here, Spirit, Mouse. It feels like you guys have to be putting in a lot of work and a lot of arguments to try and maybe show some people that there is a light and a chance of the opposite happening.
I think as much as we have some heavy favorites, we do have great potential for some maps to be picked up. I think you said in the draft show that Liquid's going to pick up 1 map. I think that is a great prediction. I think it's likely the same Mouse 3D Max. There's a good chance that 3D Max pick up a map. The games are going to be competitive, even if we already kind of know, I think, who's going to win.
One of the best aspects of this happening right after the player break isn't just that people are rusty. I feel like people are often citing that as a reason that the favorites are falling, but it's because the map pool changed. And because of cash coming in, you're going to see teams who are specializing on it, who already have more reps in official matches because they've been playing open qualifiers, closed qualifiers, coming in with just a little bit more preparation. And I feel like that's where some of the upsets are going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, you look at most of the time a new map comes in, people aren't comfortable on it. It's kind of a handshake third ban. It's getting taken out before map 3 comes in. But you have 3D Max, as you're mentioning, 3D Max cash specialist, very good chance they pick it up on this one. And then you're testing, is Mouse comfortable on cash? Have they played, I think 3D Max has like 5 cash games already. Do they have the reps to actually compete on that map? I think that's a great place for a team to pick up an upset, sorry.
No, you're right. I mean, that makes me so excited that it is going to be close. We're going to see that competitiveness, and we're going to talk about more of our first series very soon. But instead, we're going to go to a break. On the other side, it is going to be Liquid up against Spirit.
I know some people online like to paint you in a bad light when we say like you want a voice in the team. So can you tell me and everyone else like what you're actually doing when you're contributing with your voice and your ideas?
Well, this is anyone that plays my role. I don't know. I specifically get a bad rep for it for some reason, but anyone that plays like my roles, they're very active positions. So on CT side, like play a lot of rotation positions where they're just naturally going to see the most. You're going to be in the best position to like call for certain rotations or for repushes or stuff like that. So that's just your responsibility. Anyone that plays my spots are going to do the same. On T side, it's kind of like, I mean, I'm an opener. I think that's actually a good distinction that like the community has like come to like distinguish between like entry and opener. So I have like a lot of like set plays of like how I want to like get openings and stuff like that. But like I'm not necessarily always going to be like entering first into the site, which I can do and I do it when I need to. But it's not like my preferred. But in terms of like voice, I pretty much just give a bunch of suggestions. I'm just like, I think that this could be good. They're doing this, or like if the same thing where I'm playing a lot of active positions. I'm gonna see, what the CTs are throwing or not throwing. So I'm gonna be like, this is an opening, we can do this, or like, I think we can exec here. Like, it's just, giving a lot of like ideas for what I see.
Just lastly, I know you're facing Spirit today, but obviously it was kind of expected that you would face Spirit. Did this give you any advantage in like kind of being prepared for that already before even the draft show took place?
I mean, I think so. I think that they should have expected us as well, unless they were thinking someone's randomly going to pick them. But yeah, we've been prepping as soon as we beat G2 that we would be playing Spirit. There's a very small chance it would have been Mouse if someone went crazy. But no one went crazy, of course. So yeah, we've been prepped. We already knew the map pool that we were going to play. So we've had everything ready to go, and we've already like had some scrims to like practice our specific game plan. So we're very ready.
I've known you for a long time. I know you watch a lot of demos and players' POVs, right? So I'm sure you're watching a lot of Donk's POVs. How much does that help you coming into this? Because this is what I'm looking at. Maybe a 10-year difference between you guys in age, but I know you're sharp and ready for this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like very small things where like how he likes to do like different clears and like what I think is open. Like he has tendencies as well. And this was like actually something we were talking about yesterday, me and Keith, about like Astralis in 2018 and like why we couldn't get over the hump to beat them. We just thought that they were like too perfect. Like we thought like everything that they did was like for like a reason and like we should do the same. And like we just tried to do like our game, but just play better. And instead we should have been anti-stratting more. We should have been trying to figure out like what does he do like all the time. And it's the same thing here. Like Donk, he's amazing. He's great. He's the best player probably going to be of all time. But he also has habits and patterns and stuff like that. And we can also try to abuse what we can, but at the same time, like it's hard to find. It's always going to be like very, very small things, right? It's not like he's making huge mistakes every round. So it's about getting like the little differences each round.
Years of experience playing into factors there for how they're prepping it. I like it. A bit of a mental shift it feels from just under a decade ago, where it's this team's so perfect, it feels impossible to be able to beat them unless we're also perfect. But no, there's minute things that you're able to take advantage of, and I'm really hoping Liquid have been able to find that over the last 3-4 days.
I think it almost says something that he's comparing Spirit to Prime Astralis that they had no hope of ever beating, that they couldn't ever get it across the line. And they're like, yeah, it's just like Spirit is going to be today. It's just like Donk is. They're going to be that good.
I would probably more so say that Astralis was a win by committee, though, whereas Spirit is a win by singular, most destructive force that we've ever seen on an entry path. So very different in terms of how you would want to anti-strat a single man or a boy. No, he's a man. He's a man. He's a man now. Yeah. And versus I would still say the greatest team of all time.
I do think that's the right idea, though. I think Donk does have his tendencies, especially Mirage. We're not going to see it, I don't think, in this series. But if we went there, he goes for the same peaks often. You see teams counter that. I think they have the same idea. We have a decent idea what maps might be coming through in this series. So Liquid could be preparing for Donk's tendencies for quite a while now.
Yeah, and Alish talking about all the way back then during the Astralis era, how difficult it was to essentially take down the best team, but they've done it for themselves already in this season, right? I know it's only start, whatever factors you want to play into it, but Liquid's run at Blast Bounty has been amazing. He talks about the win against G2, knowing that they would then come up against Spirit, but what kicked it off was the fact that they 2-0'd Vitality. That was the big upset that everyone loved to see, and it was great and good enough for them to be able to make it to Malta.
And the fashion in which that Liquid found these victories, not only versus Vitality, but to double up on it and take down G2 as well, just showed so much potential in terms of teamwork. I feel like the flow of the team was way better. The T sides just looked like they all had very strict ideas, and the CT sides, everybody was able to chime in with little bits of activity, but it wasn't just random headless chickens running around, which I felt like was Liquid last season. When they were playing with Shuhei, it felt like you had 3, oftentimes 4 guys that wanted to get aggressive, and sometimes they would do it all at once. You would look at the kill feed after a round and you're like, I didn't even see 3 of those deaths when watching the actual gameplay play out. But now it seems like Liquid, they're taking it step by step in these rounds as they have outlined so many different plans from start to finish.
Yeah, I think if you were to look at the scoreboard from the first couple of games they played, it looks like Elige going donk mode. I mean, he's one of the best rated players at this event, but when you actually, the more I watch these games, the more I look at Liquid as a team that's playing good Counter-Strike. They've got great mid rounds, they've got great ideas, they've got great anti-stratting, I think, against both teams. They have really solid plans, and that's where, even though Elige is popping off, maybe you could say it's unsustainable. I actually think it is sustainable for Liquid to be at relatively a high level, maybe not seeing them taking down Vitality consistently, but to take maps off of a team like Spirit, to push them to the brink and make Spirit actually fight back.
There is an element of it that does feel somewhat sustainable for Elige, right? He's kind of coming under the command of JT again. This is something that you like to talk about, Maui, where it feels like this makeup of what has happened so far for Liquid over the break is a perfect storm for them. Elige just being our second highest rated player for the online portion of Blast Bounty, right behind the person who you love to prop up, Donk.
The way that Elige played under JT was to be that one-man wrecking crew, but he was oftentimes set up. In fact, he was always really set up, and that played a huge factor in why he was able to secure an individual award despite a complexity year that really merited no deep runs. I mean, in 2024, when he was a top 20 HLTV player, complexity, I think they only made 1 or 2 playoffs, but I don't think they won even a single playoff series for that entire year. So the fact that he overcame what is usually one of the defining metrics on HLTV's list, which is team success, that's how good he was as an individual, that he still earned that spot because he was just that good. But now he gets to reunite with JT, and you could see that they're 2 peas in a pod, okay? They love working together. They know exactly how they need to work in tandem in order to get the most out of this pairing.
Yeah, one of the things you would see from Elige in 2024, the beginning of 2025, when he joined up with Kerrigan, he was often that number 2 T-side player. He struggled a bit on CT, but on T-side, he was often number 2, sometimes even head-to-head with Donk statistically, despite, as you're saying, he was on a weak complexity team, often playing against much stronger opposition. He was a force to be reckoned with, and now we're seeing the reunited with JT, and he's right back exactly where he was a couple of years ago. This T-side from Elige is going to be insane.
It's not just the reunion of JT and Elige popping off here, it's also the addition of Djorko, what he's been able to bring as well. There are question marks about bringing in a younger player, what you're able to foster for them, bring to them, but Djorko has been outstanding. Everyone has been so impressed with him in so many different aspects.
I think what Liquid have lacked for a long time is an AWPer that can just hit shots. I think Djorko is quite flashy. He hits some really aggressive shots, but when you have a rifling core, you have the Elige, you have the NAF, you have the Malbs, you need an AWPer that can control space so that you can't just get fought back on when your riflers want to play a little bit more passive. You can't just get exploited as riflers. So we bring Djorko in, and Liquid finally seem to have found, hopefully, an AWPer that can actually give them some consistency, a bit of a backbone on the CT side, and be a threat on T side as well. I mean, when I look at the stats, his T side, it's actually quite difficult for AWPers in CS2, I think, to have a strong T side. So far in Liquid, his T side has been lights out.
One thing I like about Djorko is, to me, he reads as an AWPer that grew up on CS2, because his aiming style actually fits the game a lot better than I think some of the AWPers from the past did. If people don't know this, in CSGO to CS2, the way that the shot came out on the tick was they would kind of come out on sometimes the next tick of your shot when you're an AWPer. So if you're flicking somewhere, it would almost just kind of follow where your crosshair goes. But Djorko, he lines his shot up a little bit slower than you see a lot of the old school AWPers who just flick so fast, and that's why in CS2 a lot of them thought that the game wasn't registering a lot of what they were doing. But if you watch his crosshair, it just moves that slight bit slower so you can see where it's going, so that kill confirmation is just so much higher in this new game engine.
Well, with the Djorko joining Liquid, the way that he's been able to impress everyone, it's only right that we got to speak to him before that matchup against Spirit.
All right, Djorkaeff, I've seen the camera shots, I've seen your Instagram. You are a true fan of the game. So just tell me how long you have dreamed of this, being on a top team, coming to big events like this and competing.
I would say it started when I was 12, 13 years old. I always wanted to become a professional player, like since forever. I grew up to watch players like Shroud, Kenyes, and Semple. And I would just say since forever, honestly. It's just awesome.
It's very awesome. I love your positive attitude already. And when did you first start playing CS? Like, when did you get into it?
The first time I ever played CS was when I was 6 years old. I got introduced to it from my father. He used to be NTCS, so I would say then we're playing with his friends and with him.
And obviously, I got to ask this then, because you said about your dad. Is he very supportive? Is he proud of the way you've gone and the fact you're now on Team Liquid?
Yeah, I am very, very, very lucky and grateful to have such supporting parents. Not only my dad, but also my mother and my grandparents. Like, I'm just so grateful for it.
That is really good. And how did it help for you personally to have your first games on Liquid being online matches, you know, being comfortable and at home?
Yeah, I guess online matches are of course comfortable since you're like at your own home. You know, you're like somewhat used to the atmosphere, playing on your like setup, on your chair, like desk height, so they're just comfy.
And were you feeling any pressure in these games? Did you have any nerves or anything? Because you look super confident on the camera, but obviously I'm not there with you.
And to be honest, like I'm kind of like dying on the inside. It is pretty nervous. You know, Team Liquid put a lot of trust in me to pick me up. So of course I do want to deliver and be consistent. So I'm just trying to do my best. I'm pretty nervous, but in a good way, like just excited, I would say. Just excited, I'm shaking.
I can feel that excitement from you as well, and I do love it. But I also want to ask you, coming into Liquid, as a player, have you had to make any adjustments to the way you play, or have they given you just full freedom to be you?
I would say I have full freedom to just be me. They just see what I have to offer, and if they think it's good, then go on.
Well, it's been good so far, so yeah, go on, keep doing it. Now, Vitality in your first Tier 1 game, then after that you have G2, and now you have Spirit. Just give me your thoughts on that, because this is no easy introduction to top tier CS.
I mean, I just hope I don't get donked. That's it, to be honest.
Do you think you can do the donking, but with an AWP?
I'll try my best.
Oh, Djorkaeff over-delivering in the server, but also in interviews as well. Just so honest, it's nice to see this refreshing energy, not only in interviews, but that's obviously being brought to Liquid there. He's saying, we just hope to not get donked. And that does beg the question, how switched on is Spirit going to be now that they're on LAN?
I mean, even against G2, he got donked a couple of times. Okay. There was a couple crazy shots, but you're playing against Spirit. This is a different level of player. You're playing against the donk. You could be holding an angle with an op. It doesn't matter. If he gets the right peek off on you, you're getting one tap.
That's the scary prospect here, that Liquid could have all the game planning in the world, but and even some of the players who match up fairly well versus their Spirit counterparts, but Spirit, it wasn't pretty the way they actually got to the LAN. A lot of the games were extremely close, and just by sheer force of will from the individuals, they're able to get it over the line, even with sometimes half-baked game plans.
I will say though, even though they had to go to a map 3 in both of their best of 3s, the last map that they played coming into this was a 13-0, so it feels like the momentum is there. It was almost this toying warm-up of, ooh, this is the taste you get from Ulta.
Listen, Nat, I stand by what I said in the draft show. If Spirit play the way they did online, which they won't,
Sure.
but if they did, which they won't, they will lose to Liquid. I actually, if Liquid come in, maybe we need the caveat. If Liquid continue playing as they did online as well, but I think Spirit looked incredibly fallible online. They had really rough games, even games that they won, even games where Donk was good statistically. He was still struggling. He was still getting picked off. I think teams had really good game plans against them. Liquid looked really not Spirit looked not the way you want them to be looking coming into a LAN where they are the clear favorites.
By and large, this is Spirit's tournament to lose. However, I totally agree with Vu's sentiment that if you get the level of both of these teams and what they showed online, it's a much closer affair than people may first realize.
Well, let's have a look at Alvido, because you guys have been alluding to it a lot over the last, 20-odd minutes here of, is there going to be that little sneaky pickup for themselves here? But it is just going to be Dust2 chosen by Spirit there, Anubis by Liquid, and then the Mirage being our decider.
In a weird way, this is probably exactly what Liquid want, to be able to game plan perfectly versus Spirit. If they're a team that is bringing in more anti-strats, and Elise just said that they are, then this should play out as well as it possibly could. maybe it isn't necessarily all three of their best matches, but they knew coming in today that this was the most likely veto.
I think Liquid could have game planned this in the player break. You know these are the three maps you're going to be playing against Spirit. Liquid's struggling on Dust 2. Spirit, of course, are going to be picking it. They're JT's for a long time been an Anubis specialist. You go to map 3, Mirage. I think both teams are pretty comfortable on that. This is one where you could see a lot of anti-stratting come in.
Well, it feels like we haven't gotten to have any surprises in our draft show. Maybe no surprises in our veto here, but maybe our map results might be a surprise. Either way, let's get into it. Let's get our series started with DDK and Bardolph.
Listen here, you cowards. Liquid are taking this series. I am a believer. It's new look Liquid. They're going to come full of surprises. I think the interview with Jorko was quite nice. If he can hold his nerve, I think Liquid take the series.
I just love the map pool that we're getting, because this is going to be just like lights out Counter-Strike. I love that we have the Anubis in there.
This is wrong. These numbers are wrong, Dan.
Have played so well. I don't know. I mean, we're going to get the eye test confirmed pretty quickly with Dust 2. I mean, that's where the individuals, you're going to get to see their form immediately. There's no hiding on Dust 2.
Yeah, okay. The numbers aren't wrong. The numbers are right. I mean, if you look at it, like, has it been 24 matches since Spirit lost to not Falcons, not Vitality? Yes. But is it the perfect storm for Liquid to cause an upset right now? Also, yes. Again, I think that, you know, of course, all eyes are going to be on Donk, but the way Elige has position on this team at the moment is incredible. You saw the highlights on Mirage, his POV. He's a robot. There's more than one robot on this server, and I think Donk versus Elige might decide who takes this series overall.
Yeah, and I think it was so cool to see as well in Elige's interview, just him basically saying, look, we are as ready as we can be. We're like super happy with the preparation we have done. They knew immediately right after they beat G2 exactly how they had to proceed with that preparation. And it looks like we are about to kick off the quarterfinals here at Blast Bounty. The first match here on LAN between Liquid and Spirit.
There we go.
And Spirit are the ones that get to decide the pace here.
Welcome.
We'll see who decides the pace. Liquid are charging into that mid position with all the numbers.
Just for a pinch. Yeah, we're gonna
Taking the fight to Spirit may be important. Jorko over Pop Flash will say hello. An early exchange, some greetings.
Yeah.
But nothing crazy happening here. There's no util for the CTs. As the smoke is offered towards A. 4 men will rotate in that direction.
Seems like this was always the plan. Getting ahead of the smoke here. Elige able to take down Magix very early on as Spirit initially looking for that long control. JT takes down Donk. So the most dangerous player is gone. Zontix with potentially another opening here, but the bomb has a long way to go to get there.
That's it.
Yeah, what is the awareness like for the squad of Liquid? Elige looking for that rotation to come through. Keeping eyes on top mid as Zontix is dropped on B. So no further rotation may be necessary for Liquid as far as B is concerned. That is secure. The bomb spotted, making its way over towards A site now.
Yeah, 2 versus 4 after plant. Definitely not out of the picture just yet here, Spirit. See what they can do. Shiro and Tanit on different angles. Using the headshots, position very well takes down Elige. Betrays the Shiro alone, and Jorko able to take him down. Great to see Jorko, the least experienced player on the roster. You know, we don't know exactly what to expect going from that online to LAN environment, but it's certainly a nice way to open up the series with a couple headshots.
It really is a big round for Liquid. Of course, you know, we look at the history on paper. It's very different now with this new roster, but they're not the best at winning these pistol rounds on Dust 2, so it's certainly a great way to start things off for the Liquid squad. As far as they are concerned, it is time to spin the block.
Crazy. How old do you think the new Dust 2 is?
And I just love the energy we're seeing out of Liquid as well. You know, of course, the heavy underdogs, but I think right from the get-go, I think you're just seeing a roster that looks very energized, very happy, very calm at the moment. Scout out for Shiro, though. Shiro, statistically, one of the best AWPers in Counter-Strike, so it's very interesting to see what problems he may be able to cause.
I guess, you know,
but everybody leaves money in the hole for the AWP in a round such as this, but
down south, just go out the door.
I see Shiro leaving a little extra.
Has been unbelievable.
I'd like to see more
I heard when I
AWPers.
was outside with some of the staff.
Take this consideration. Great double peek there from Liquid.
I'm coming from the,
and again,
from the hotel full of AC.
maybe a tease of hard counters potentially to cut. The trades will be good enough. There's still a threat in that lower tunnel. The bomb carrier Shiro makes it a 1v1, able to drop JT. Either way, it'll be an expensive round for Liquid, but this is a must-win for Jorko. 4-0 for now, and Shiro knows he needs a headshot.
Yeah, presence of mind there for Jorko, not to peek and balance up to that angle, waits for the bomb bomb to start to be planted. That does give him an edge here on the positioning. Jorko catches Shiro.
From Shiro, if you're
They're ready to party here. This is great stuff from Liquid.
Also, the players with the noise. We hear
God,
the
my
whole
asthma
time,
would be
like,
on fire if I did that 3 times. But I think it's great that he specifically is doing that. He's 17 years old. I love the fact that he's basically like a child of Counter-Strike. Like his dad used to play it. What a perfect scenario. We've seen the struggles of different players in convincing their parents about the situation going to play pro Counter-Strike at a young age. But it's a brave new world now with people like Jorko on the scene, especially as the young man on the server. I think a great way to start. Clutched the round, 5-0 start, and now he's got the AWP.
I just double checked.
Into the next round we go, and Spirits obviously did get the bomb down, so the pain potentially here that could arrive from them in the form of the AKs could be pretty upsetting here for Liquid. They must be aware that this is a possibility. AWP is out for Jorko. 5-0 at the moment.
Yeah, we're fine.
Have to be very cautious not to give up this AWP early on Dust 2. We'll see Spirit start to work towards that cat control.
Yeah, we're on 720. We'll change that in between maps. We gotta remember that.
Yes. Apologies for that.
It's all good. I forgive you.
The upset is absolutely possible. Yes,
Chad,
it's round 3, but I was saying that before round 1. It's possible. The ingredients are there.
Yes, I was unfortunately at work.
We're both
by no means is it a guarantee.
I came straight after work as well, but I managed to get some more time off.
Again, the stats are fantastic for Spirit.
Fair enough.
And they cannot be denied.
More like free.
Only losing to Falcons and Vitality in 24 matches.
The positioning here, though, very, very strong for Spirit on the attack into the A side. Jorko's a little bit exposed. Nice flick shot. Takes down Magic. Their headshot, no less. Falls back to the long position. And so they will actually be conceding the site. You can see Spirit is concerned that perhaps Jorko's still in position. But Jorko just holding on to long right now, trying to ensure that the rest of his teammates can be set up for a 5-man retake.
I think Zontix's position outside long doors may be one of the biggest factors in this scenario, but Jorko's got his back covered, which allows him to focus on this position. That lurk is dealt with by Elige. Now it's game on. 3-on-4. It's Spirit who need to clutch here. And Donk needs to find his first kill.
Yeah, Donk's actually creeping forwards deeper onto the site. He catches Maps Unknown, and now just Elige against 3 players here. We'll be able to take down Shiro, but at this point, this retake is going to be very challenging. All up to and fall back here and play it safe. But I don't know, that move from Donk was really sneaky. He found a tiny gap in positioning to allow him to be able to aggressively push that ramp position. Just showing you that Donk is going to be a continual problem in all of these rounds, and the AWP is going to be conceded, James. This is what I was worried about for Liquid's sake. In early AWP in the hands of Shiro is certainly going to turn the tide here.
You guys can see too much.
Nice seconds to Jorko, and again, Liquid doing their homework, ready for that lurker outside long doors. But Tanir with a nice 2K, thought to clean out the rest, was just enough for Spirit. Plenty of clutch in that squad. Amusing to see Donk holding the AWP. I think his rating on HLTV is 1 out of 100 with a sniper rifle. Obviously, he's saving it for a teammate.
Okay.
There are some irrelevant stats for you.
I know about the
Liquid find themselves in trouble early then. Going for the full force now, which ain't looking good, bruv.
Yeah, just able to get into that very, very fast position, but they're just as quickly out under the cover of smoke here. So for the Spirit side, they may be unsure as to where these Liquid players are. They might be able to get a catch here, potentially a flank, because in Zontix's mind, they're still probably in lower dark, but looking to go for the peak, gets caught off guard. There's a couple weapons here that can be collected for Team Liquid. So they have options now. A couple rifles, Donk on 12 HP. Might be something to play with.
Another question is how many players were seen on the kill cam. He can't have seen all 3, which is going to delay the advance of the T's to the A bomb site. So maybe there's a window where Liquid give a consideration to this, because there is a hell of an argument for saving all of this as well if they think they're able to do that. So it does give them more options there in that consideration, but I don't know, do you save here? There's a lot of value in what they're holding right now.
Yeah, I think the save is it would be something that makes sense.
Not going to be gone unseen.
Of course, they spent all their money into this round. So perhaps they understand they did get that dink onto Donk earlier, so might be looking to go for this one, sensing some potential. They start to try to test the site. Elige is the first one to fall, though Naf is going to take down Shiro, and again, Donk on 12 HP here, does have the AWP at range. So Tanir Is he going to be able to hold this one by himself? The 1v1 is going to be crucial. Going very deep on this peak. Completely catches Djorko, breaks the potential crosshair placement play from him, and now
Donk low
all that
HP.
Naf can do to fall off. Donk, I feel like it's kind of risky.
Still
but
1 out of
Funny
100
bone there. Goddamn.
on HLTV for Sniper.
save,
The stats will remain the same.
A dunk up.
But
Crazy.
that was a noble effort there from Liquid. They had the smoke up to thwart the opposition on long, but just left to
Reminds
Naf
me, am I wrong? Is
doing
it
Super
Spear or
Mario
Zontix?
with the MP9.
I think it's Zontix.
Didn't get as much as he would have liked. But
You remember when
got
they
some damage
removed
there.
Magics for like
got
a
some
super
damage.
short time
But yeah,
and
it
brought
was
them
an
back?
interesting,
Yeah, they
should we
brought
stay
in
or should we
Sway.
send it?
Yeah.
And then they traded both of them back right before Blast Season 1. And Zway ended up going to Paravision.
He beat.
And he beat.
I like the push here in the quick
Spirit.
reposition.
And when we
As,
spoke
like,
this way.
One of the
Yes,
things
so
I have
this way.
loved to see from Liquid,
6 months ago.
and I'm sure it's a result of some of the stuff we've been hearing from Elise and just how awesome JT's calling is. The team's very active.
Oh
and
my word.
Oh my goodness, he gets decapitated. At least it's a round where they only have
sure it is. I
USPs,
saw it
so
myself.
there's not a lot at stake. But
I found
that,
myself
I'm
on
sure,
YouTube.
is something we can expect to
I'm
see on
pretty
some of the
sure
buy
it's on
rounds
You
as
can
well.
find the interview. You have to take the full stream.
Style
scroll
points
to the
for
end.
Shiro
But a video of just the interviews is
in the
posted, but
anti-eco.
unpublished.
Should I fact check this? I'm pretty sure I saw it.
So the question is, how do
How
Liquid stabilize? Let's not forget recent results that Spirit have had on Dust 2. They are in very good
I got
form.
confused, guys.
The desk spoke about momentum, and I mean the question is, can Liquid get back into this half? Once their buy comes through again,
Half going down.
Okay, I'm confused. Right
can
now.
they stop the train
searched
that
for-
is
Search it
Spirit
without
from
spaces.
going through all their houses?
Counter-Strike League on YouTube, you cannot put any spaces because SEO optimization.
I think this
hurts
round
us.
will be
Why did I
very
say
telling in that
SEO
regard.
optimization? That's search engine optimization.
2 to 3 the
swear I
score.
saw it.
It might
Liquid
be
in with the
in
next buy. Djorko back on the AWP.
You're not gonna
Very nice indeed. Ooh,
Is
kind
that-
of gruesome.
Oh yeah, we
okay.
do got it. Okay. You have to go in the playlist, guys. You can find it.
So the question is, in terms of the
So,
anti-stratting and
I
the
mean, we're
preparation
not
from
wrong.
Liquid, what
We're
we
not fully
expect
right.
out of this map
So,
from Liquid, we're
Go
definitely
on our
expecting them to
playlist,
have the
guys, on
roughest
YouTube,
go of all
YouTube,
3 maps in this series
and find
to be
the
on Dust 2.
Blast Season
So
1,
this first
playlist.
buy
You
round
can
will be very
find the
telling.
highlights there.
We'll get the long
I think
control
about
coming
really
in
cool
past
interviews
the
sometimes.
corner smoke, which
Yeah,
allows them to
people
know
try
that
some
Spirit
more
Youngstar,
they
man.
threw the
Oh,
corner smoke,
Youngstar,
but
that's
nobody's
it.
playing
Like,
behind
man,
it. So that's
I'm so
useful
sad
information
it's
for
not
Liquid
Yeah, it was a
as they
shame.
kind of fall back. They
Apex, we
put
had an
their
interview with Apex.
attention now
Apex,
towards
we
We
Catwalk.
need to clip this still 6
Does
months after the
Naf
fact. He
consider
roasted
having a
out of
walk
Italian.
Yeah,
with
so
Djorko
guys,
holding this angle?
Should we just spoil it and say it
Or
out
is he
loud?
just there
Yeah,
for the
for
swing
For those
onto
of you guys that don't know,
Djorko? Should he
we
fire
were
a
talking about
shot?
food, and he said like
This presence
if
on
you want
short
fast
is
food, you
important.
go
It
for
will allow
Italian.
them to hold this position.
But if you want to
They are starting
consider
to poke
like,
in a little
not fast food,
further,
like,
while a
you
lot
have
of CT
pasta,
presence is
like-
being
No,
had
good
on
dishes,
short.
good
There's
dishes.
Naf to pop out, but now
however, if you consider like
with his teammate getting
food
dropped,
itself,
it's really important he
was
stays
crazy.
alive there, and he's able to do that. That
Did
smoke
for
is
me.
quite timely as well.
Saying Italian food is
That's
tier
really
three.
important,
Arguably
especially
like a tier
because
above
the whole
tier
setup
one
there is that
box, but,
JT
you know.
I
draws
love
out the
Italian
player for
food,
Djorko
but
to
I
finish off, but
so many
instead
cuisines are
it's going
tier
to
one
be
in
the
my
case
opinion.
that he goes
Like, there's
down.
so many, like,
Do get a
it's
kill out
harder
of it,
to
but
name
3 versus
I'm
4 for the
picking
cuisines are
CTs.
not tier
This
one
is such a
with
good
that-
layup
that
right now
one
for
with
Spirit. They just have to combine forces and then go for a final attack.
We forgot about the
Looking
game.
like they
You
may
wouldn't get
be thinking
this on
about
the
the
Blast
catwalk
Premier.
position, but look at Liquid again getting active
Like
and just
overlap
a
on my
miss there for Elise. Very unfortunate.
Okay, I mean,
And the punish from Dawn comes in.
So perfect, just jiggling behind the wall, dragging the crosshairs away. Great positioning by Spirit, assuming nothing.
Combo right there. Green
Really
gloves,
neutralizing
green
that
dot,
threat from
and
Liquid.
Karambit Gamma Doppler.
You saw the crosshair, unsure which way to go
Beautiful combo.
when the player by the
I am
wall
getting-
disappeared.
I am getting some feedback.
And now the
on
hunt is on
stream,
for
so I'm
Naf.
trying to fix the sound a little.
I don't think he survives this one.
Okay.
Oh,
But
were
again,
we too
Liquid
quiet?
Yeah,
trying
'cause
to be
there's Bardolph
proactive,
and DDK,
but Spirit able
more
to
like talking
stabilize.
over them a little. So either they need to be very low.
Really
Let's
good
be
work
very
from
loud.
them.
So
I tell you, they're very loud or we're
He
very
will be
loud.
hunted.
It's one or the other.
yes.
Yeah, and that's
Okay, I'll
that
be honest,
exchange,
I'll
I
be
think,
honest.
in the upper
Hearing
tunnels
the crowd's
is
reaction
really
so far,
interesting
Spirit got around,
because
I heard like
we
5
were in a
claps.
phase there for the
Liquid
team
went around, I heard
before
much
where
more
you
claps.
have this setup.
we have to wait and see.
Great that Naf
So I
gets
feel
that
like here
kill,
they have a
but you can see
sided,
Shiro picks off.
like,
In fact, the CTs
confirmation
and
of
the
what the
T's
fans
have the
kinda want.
same setup essentially
I mean,
with the rifle
think
and
about it,
the alt
guys.
bait.
Who doesn't want an upset? Everybody wants an upset.
Look at the constant
I'm not even reacting. because
back and
I've so
forth behind the
much
wall.
Already.
Ended up
So
being
much
such a
drama.
problem for Liquid.
Guys, go back. Okay, so we
Unable
had
to
last
drop a player
January
there.
where they played Falcons and they
Yes.
lost, and I was
expensive
I mean,
lessons
they took one
learned
of the maps
early
the
here
distance
from
before.
Liquid.
Yes,
See if they
yes.
can adapt to
Was
them
the-
before
was
this
the-
half is done.
Even further.
Okay.
But again, not trying to take the fight to them.
Blast's first
I think
bounty in
historically,
Malta.
Ah,
Spirit
so
are a
2025 season
dangerous
one.
team if you let them set up.
So on the
It was the
CT
first
side, you
season
kind of
of
have to be
okay.
active.
Apologies.
Liquid know
Season
There
this,
was no
but
cold
also
stream that
Spirit
time.
knows
I
that
was
as
just
well.
a wee
So
little
Spirit are going to be very,
fan
very
in the
hard
crowd.
to
So
catch
then I
on.
was wearing my Liquid shirt. And one
Mobs
thing
is
that
0
they're
for
trying
6
to
at the
do
moment,
show that
not
we're
enjoying
not
himself.
Just a basement tournament
Basement.
country, and
I
that
think
we do have
Vu
CS
used the
fans
word
despite
exploited.
us.
We can
Did catch, like, some
put
of the
that on
fans
Mobs' head for
Yes,
now.
I have some clips
celebrating.
saved on my phone actually.
And
Jorko was
there's
10
this
at the
clip
time
when
Shiro
they're
made
playing
his
Vitality,
Gambit Youngsters
and they
debut.
just get smoked in the first round.
Young
like, they
Shiro.
don't even land it. And I just
Yes, I remember.
I just go like a
I
massive
remember
face
that
and they
clip.
clip
Revelation,
and like
that
the
was.
worst part is they didn't just show it after.
So again,
If
another
you go
dry
back
round
in
for
the next
Liquid,
Blast
where they
tournament,
can think
when they
about
went
the
to
rounds that have come and
Portugal,
gone.
they went all over the world.
Oh,
on
really?
different
They
tournaments.
replayed it?
In between series.
Some deagles, maybe to have some fun, find some headshots.
Like a montage of months.
Some weapons make it awkward.
You're just watching Blood, and then you just cuts to you.
There was
jump
good timing from
Oh.
Liquid with the
hilarious.
presence,
I'll
the
be
utility
honest,
on short when
last
they
year
were
I was
going for
also
that
a fan
aggression
here. So guys,
towards the
if you
B-bomb
really work hard, look
sites.
what you can do. From a fan
But how
to a
many
co-streamer.
pages are there to
I mean,
that
hey,
part of their book?
Honestly,
Make your dreams come true, guys.
that's
How many
so
strats do
real,
they have
It
to
is really
throw
surreal.
There's so
that
much
Spirit
work to
aggressively
be done
on
for
this CT
grassroots
side?
esports. And not grassroots in the sense.
What is the minimum for
it's
rounds
like a
here for
young
Liquid?
level, but
So this
grassroots
is
in
interesting. We have the
sense,
smoke
just
on Cat
at the
there.
beginning,
Liquid
there's
want Spirit
so
to go
little,
into mid. That is what
effort.
Liquid
I mean,
wants to have
put in
happen.
not
And so how
by
many layers do we have from
game
Spirit to
mode
try to
and a lot,
force
but
Liquid
obviously they are
to
doing
jump
well.
the gun
But
here?
by the community, there's
They may
so
lose a
much
player. There goes Tane with the pop flash. There's Elige on the peak. It was always about this setup in mid. And for Liquid, they
forgot
get
to do
at least
that
one
one.
kill.
you forgot to
Make that one more. Oh, that's a swing and a miss from Shiro, and things get closer. Things get more difficult. Zontic's popped by Nath with the 5-7.
Get some more fans on the.
Magix and Shiro have got a really tough job now. Shiro needs to try and stay alive as Magix comes to the rescue, but he can't come quick enough.
No, they're aware I'm here.
1v2, he's got 18
although my
seconds. He has
coworkers
to win
are
this by
joking, they're gonna
elimination
put us
more or
on the
less.
main
Some
screens in
stolen
the offices,
utility.
which
A
is
Molotov on the
hilarious, 'cause I
bomb.
imagine some person
Surely
walks out
he has to
like,
hunt
"I
them
know that guy,
down.
He never talks to me in the morning.
Just got to send it at them, and Jorko's picked up the AWP. That is a great way to turn things around for Liquid. We spoke about the
I'll be
rounds
honest,
they
I'll
need.
support Liquid
An
just for
unlikely
this
one
game,
on the
so
pistol
see an
round. Great
upset.
highlight from you, Dan,
For
and
the
the
rest of
action in
the
mid
game,
working very well for Liquid.
Yeah, it's really interesting because for Spirit, you wonder, you can maybe sack a player here in this position.
No,
but the thing is that
majority.
you at least actually kills the trade fragger,
I don't know if they're going to
leaving
pull up the
that
video
forward
again.
player
Last
exposed.
year,
And so then there's an opportunity for 2
Last
kills, and then
season,
suddenly
January,
Spirit
we
are
had,
kind of committed into the battle.
made an
And now
ad
we
for
move
Game
into the next
Malta
round.
after that.
It's going to be a great spot here
it
for
ended up coming on
Liquid,
stream,
but you got to be
where at
cautious.
the end we
Zero
got
is
a
dangerous there.
jersey
Naf
from Team
escapes
Spirits
with
when we
44
had,
health.
Get him,
at the
HG's
time,
down.
who was there was Donk,
To make it
Magix,
easier to cross.
and Banks, and we got all those 3 signatures.
And Quentin and Zellion
Yeah,
and
just as we were
We
asking
didn't sign
how
our
many
own
pages have
jerseys,
they got
but
left
all 3 of us were
to
there.
throw at
We
Spirit.
got jersey each.
That was one that Spirit
However,
perhaps did not
later on,
expect.
I had a friend downstairs. I gave him
Liquid
my
showing
jacket,
depth in the
threw him
first
my
map
shirt
of this
down here,
series.
because Spirit didn't make it. They lost the Prevision. So he went to the signing
So they had a
session
sign, exactly.
and got the
Still a
rest
job
of the
to be
signatures.
done
So I have
in
a
this
full signed
half.
jersey now, which is really cool.
So
Really
not the
cool.
majority. You have one.
Yes, I have one.
Plenty
I
of
have one.
detail.
Is the majority.
Yes, the PC
As
is
we head
majority.
toward that,
Actually,
towards
on
that
the
minute
PC,
mark
I
for
have,
Spirit, but they've
Jumper.
just lost 2 players, just
And
like
Jumper
that.
support.
Elige poking, prodding. I
For this
told you
game.
he was a robot,
Just for this game.
and he's got the AWP as
If you want to say
the
supporting, I wouldn't mind
backup
seeing
in
no
mid.
limit- no limit
Wonderful
to the
stuff,
line.
and that just
No
cripples
limit
the
to
round for
No limit
Spirit.
to the LARP, is that
And that
what
was
we're
kind of
saying
the aim we were,
I love
we
on
were
my
hearing
face
about
ID
the
just
Maui
does not wanna
highlight
work.
for
I blame the
Jorko.
headset, to be honest.
Hitting that shot, he had to kind of adjust. Very, very nice.
Okay.
But hold that thought because
Okay,
in
guys,
comes
you
Jorko
remember
again.
we were
The
just
long position.
Yes.
The
We
counterplay to try to attack this spot here from Spirit. So 1v1 now. Vabs holds
I
his
feel like,
ground. And with that, the chances for the
to be
round
honest,
disappear.
you know what's
Zontix
hilarious?
is going
You know
to
what's
fall
hilarious?
before he can even think about getting the bomb. And
Team
Spirit
Liquid makes it to the
suddenly,
grand final.
it's a tie game.
I'd love that.
Hear me out.
That's
hear
a
me
really
out.
good
Who is
first
the
kill to
player we
get for
have to
Mobs on
interview
long.
with our
Oh,
special
the
guest?
parties across the board.
No.
A bit shyer with
The enthusiasm not there.
Exactly. Shy's like being coaxed into it by his friends,
That'd be
but
mental.
hey, great way to do it with first frag.
Tell us more than some of the players on the court.
Oh,
Controlling
probably.
that long position,
So,
really good.
for
Good
context,
2-man
we'll
setups
give a
from
small
Liquid as
hint.
well. On the
So,
fly,
Liquid has
like
a
we
guy
saw
called
there
Mads.
along, important confident, considering how new
Our
this roster
special
is.
guest, I'm not even
And
joking,
indeed, we have got
looks
a real match,
identical
ladies
to
and
Max.
gentlemen.
Doppelganger.
And
Yeah, there's so much
during
to go
other events
into,
that
but
happened
the
in
rounds
Malta,
keep playing
this
out,
guy,
so we
he
have time.
refereed
We've
for
got
some
the
games.
post here from Shearer. Pop
Players
flash
were
comes through.
literally confusing the
And some
referee
extra utility
with,
as well. But
Hals.
Liquid really
This thing,
feeling
I'm
this.
supposed
22
to be like
players.
in a kit, not in a
Oh,
referee's
that's a
jersey.
disaster. Elise goes down, and Nav is alone.
If Nav dies here, that might be the end of the rounds. Oh my god, it's getting worse. Magix is just in mid doors for free.
Losing Eco here is really bad.
Completely unprepared for the flash over the top. But surely you can't pursue this one.
Wow, Team Liquid's
Yeah, they have to save. They have to save. It just They got
That's
it
crazy.
kind
I
of
didn't
almost looked
expect
like
Team
Liquid
Liquid to
was
give this
somewhat
round.
expectant of
I
that,
thought
but
they'll
then
fight
it was
more,
such
but
an
I guess
early
they
timing
gave
from
the
Spirit
advantage,
that
they wanted to
the
just go and
opening
fight this
setup
time.
from
You know
Liquid
what,
meant 3
let's,
players were still on A. The rotation was
say it
so
how it
far
is.
away. It
It
had to be
is
a
Team
very
Spirit's
good
map
delay
pick is
for this round to
Dust 2.
even
It's
be a
T-sided
possible
map,
hold
arguably.
from
Yeah.
the
And
Anchors, but they
Liquid
got
have 4
nothing
rounds. They
there
should have had
for
the
Liquid.
fifth
They got
here.
completely
They
caught
did
off
it,
guard.
but they almost
Yeah,
did. And
that's
there's still a
an
lot of rounds
unfortunate
left
one
to play
from
in
their
South.
point
Picking
of
up a
view.
fight is always
but
good,
Yes.
sometimes
especially
it'd
if
be
it's
like
not your
that.
map pick and not your side.
Overthink it.
So
Exactly.
actually,
I
technically
mean,
speaking,
credit to
Liquid did
Spirit.
pick
You know,
the
they've
side.
conditioned a very,
But
very
I feel
slow
like
pace,
starting
and so
CT
you
is
never
always
know when
safe.
it can
It's
happen.
always, you know,
But a
respectability
quick
goes
pop
in.
like
You can never
this
go wrong with
is
CT.
always
Let me
a
play this
potential
with
in
this
any
one.
round after that condition's been set.
I'm sorry, if you pick CT on a Nobis, you want to
throwing.
lose.
You're
You're throwing, you're just throwing.
But let's put it this way. If
Really
they pick
strong
another
timing
round,
there.
At least
Yep.
he's molding, bro. If
You are going
they
up
pick
against
up
Spirits
two more
after
rounds,
all.
maybe it's
It was
all
never
right.
going to be easy.
Let's be fair. And then they get the pistol. They can work with that, I think.
Oh, definitely, 100%. I think just getting
But
as
still,
many
I
rounds
think
as
James,
possible
you know,
this
getting
half.
the
If they
CT
can maybe
rounds
get, like,
against Spirit is
maybe
like
one
the
more
hardest
round.
part.
Just need one more
Spirit
round.
are
Make it
notoriously
5-7.
annoying to play against on this T side, and
Uh,
they're going
pistol
for a
round,
very fast, long
will just
control.
Be, as much
there's
as they
the
have
smoke
to
on the
try it,
corner.
they have to win it. They did win the
So
first
Liquid
pistol
will have to
round.
abandon for now.
And you know the stat is, if you win both pistol rounds, you have the 80 or
Be very
75%
conscious
chance
of
winning the map.
the lack
But you know
of
what
people they
another
have
stat
on
is?
short at the
Or
moment.
so the stat is saying.
Yeah.
You can't choke on a Liquid.
How do they
But
deal
Team
with this then,
can
Liquid?
choke
3
on it.
players on and around the A bomb site.
And I
Nobody
say, I
not
love
too
this
far
team.
behind
Look at
either.
that.
But with a
4-10
minute
on
30 on the
Dust
clock,
Lucas
the CTs have to respond to this. I don't think they could just sit
Is
on the A bomb site without that presence on short.
The average, so if you take the
Oh
opponent.
my god, that
Yeah,
is
it's
mental.
an interesting
So
you know,
the
switch up
average
from the
opponents
defaults
they
from
have
Spirit,
beaten on
looking like
Dust
they want to
is ranked
scale
100.
long,
Is ranked
slowly.
100.
So if you take,
Wow.
so
And
maybe
you've got
they
Magic's
beat,
here
like,
who's going to be
Vitality
creeping
or
out Cat.
Carrot.
This is a
Everyone
very
else, like,
important
500.
catch there from
They
Mal.
beat Vitality, they
And
beat some
now
slumpy
Spirit
from us.
committed, creeping up
Like
long.
5
How
dorks
much
that
can
don't have a
Don't
team.
find off the
Honestly,
entry?
This is probably my team. Back in the day.
Proxy got
No,
fumbled by
Allegiant.
This is really tense. So many numbers
RIP.
here. It's a full commitment
We will
from
never- we
Liquid
will
now.
never miss.
That's a
Okay,
great
bro,
flick
I
from
can say-
Jorko. Has he got the rifle support? Goes back again. So many smokes, but Donk is traded. Looking
Trying
for
to,
longer
like,
duels
wait
will
for it to
favour
get a bit
Tanir now.
safer, but it's never safe.
Two
No, this
on
is
3,
the worst time to
45
talk about
seconds.
safety now.
See this round.
Shiro
Unleash
creeping
needs
with
to
the
get
NWP
crazy
makes it
here.
so hard for
Shiro
the
not paying
CTs to
attention to the
peek.
up anymore.
Who goes first? Who picks off whom? Shiro trying to bait that player
gets
out.
one kill
See
and
the
leash.
Shiro
barrel.
gets a kill here. If Shiro gets this
But you know
kill.
Naf's not going to
Shiro's
peek
gonna be
unless
patient
someone
all
else
day.
is
I
engaged
don't think-
first. Looking for that. That's JT. Great answer from Shiro. Still surviving,
fly.
still creeping. And that will be all he
Cannot
needs
fly.
to turn that round around for
Should have
Spirit.
been guaranteed there, but
So
it's
close,
just too
and those are
They
the
took greedy, I
exact
guess.
scenarios
Hey, fair
where
play to
beating
Shiro.
Shiro
Took good shots.
doesn't happen.
plus
Shiro's so
always good.
consistent. If he's in a spot to
Crazy. No,
defend
you're
a
right.
position
No,
with an
because,
AWP,
Eleanor
it's
got
going to be
the
very,
first guy.
very, very
Oh,
hard to
sorry.
stop him.
No, sorry. He got
Such a
leash
close
in,
round here. I mean, Jorko showing
there
that
it
he can hit these lightning fast reaction
will-
shots,
Oh, but I
but he
could
can
hit
also
that. I could
connect
hit
some of these
that.
more
Side
difficult
side
shots where he
side
has to adjust in a
I'm a
very
Jason,
awkward
ready?
manner.
Doesn't
So
say my
I
name on it.
love the performance
I'll
we're seeing
take
out of
the sharp
Jorko,
piece.
but once again,
name over
Spirit
Allow the
taking control.
signatures. Oh yeah, guys, that's always.
No, I leave the signatures
Yeah.
there. That's
It was fun to watch
That really just gives me like
Shiro
plus 10
solve that
FPS.
conundrum as
You know
well.
when you, like, you
Just
put the car
realizing
mode
he's
to
going to
get
stay
plus
in
10
that
horsepower.
corner until I find that
That's how it
first
is.
engager.
Stick on the standing of the plus 10
Speaking of
horsepower.
engagements, very quickly
What an
again
entry
towards the
by
B bomb
Spirit
site,
here.
and once more
might-
Liquid are completely
This is
outmaneuvered.
looking like an 8-4 half.
Lose
I'll be
those
honest, I
initial
think this
duels,
round
and
was
that's the
Spirit.
round right there.
Oh, so Team Liquid
Yeah, they're
had
looking
to
for
win.
the
That's
lurker. They're going to
even-
pick
I
up
mean,
Magic's
hey,
again.
3v3
But
still
yeah,
has a
you're
chance.
completely
Hey,
right.
last
It's just
round was
gaming
first
experience.
that's just
Respect
on the
to
B
Malta.
site. They happen too quickly.
Malta number
If
one.
Naf had
Malta
been
number
able
one.
to survive
We're here.
even 5 to 10 seconds, get one more kill out of that, this could be a very different scenario. But
Well, let's see what they're doing here.
going for it.
Is in the works.
Yes.
So
They may
I
do some
don't know.
fishing.
I
There are
believe
kits
it
on the
might
bomb site
be
and one
open,
for
I don't
mobs
know.
as
If you
well.
want to join join, just reach out to us.
I think if they lose one more player, if they lose the first player here, then that's going to be a wrap. But that may make things more inviting for the remainder of Liquid. The clock is ticking. And now Mobs will find himself alone, down to the 1v1. He is the man with the kit, but Tanir just needs to not show that bomb is very heavily ticked. It might be about saving an AWP. I don't know if they've got money to buy one next round.
I mean, all he knew about Eleanor, he was behind door.
Spirit breaking Liquid on all the right rounds to stop Liquid from building a better score in this half.
Eleanor? Is Eleanor or TNR?
I think the thing that's been very interesting about this game is one, Jorko is really delivering. He's performing very well so far in this game. That peek
I'll be honest,
to the back of Plateau was fantastic work from him to beat out that angle. However, that B site, that's been the key weakness where those pops have been extremely effective. Leaving Liquid with no chance with such a disadvantageous scenario as we go into the final round.
Hey man, how you doing? It's like, what's good, bro?
Last week we've seen a lot of snipers on Dust 2 with not much to show at the end of the half. 13 frags for Jorko, 10
When there
for
were other
Shiro.
events, we'll just say
Other events,
when there were
other
other
events,
events.
we're
Going
saying,
aggressive.
Now like 20, 21.
Yeah, we're
The
back
fast climbing into the site. Naf delivers just one, but the Liquid players are really fast
I'll
behind
be
this.
honest, that was a really
Yeah.
good molly because I don't know why they do
But
it.
Spirits are ready for this
Yeah,
as
this
well.
sounds great.
Will
But
this
anyway,
be
this
checked?
event
Magic's in the
by
back.
form.
Okay,
Holding
hear me out.
angles.
Magic's gonna get 4K right
Could
here.
collect two.
It's Mirage all
They're
over again.
unlucky. Do they check this position? They've done their homework, so they may be expectant.
You put your hand
Now
on
he's
it.
just going to pull them in all the wrong directions as they try to
At least
secure the
I
last
hear
round and a
it.
half.
Let me
Hear me
tell
out.
you
Yeah,
the
smoke,
story.
because at least he
Let me
can't afford to
hear
wait
you
out.
4 years
That
ago,
Molly
I
needs
forgot.
all precious
There
seconds as
was
income to the peak. It's
Swim
fantastic with the orb, the pop flash as well. Now this will allow to go forward here. Donkey with the defense. And
Yeah,
now down to
2022,
Mavs.
so
1 versus 2. The headshots though for
Next day, we're all
Donk
watching
coming
FaZe.
all day. 4 to 8
And-
for
It was
Liquid.
8-4 half,
Can he
first
come
half.
back? We're going to
Yes.
find out in the
No,
second
it's
half.
predicted.
To let everyone, guys, 8-4 first half.
They're saying
Two Spirits. Yeah, I know, but like, no, vocalize it for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, let's go to the cams for a second.
I'll be honest. When I saw this thing, I thought I said Lamborghini's Mirage for a second. I
Alright.
butchered the
Now,
reading.
it's now Mentin and Mahaya's.
Yes, we'll give you some. We'll
talk
give you
show.
some.
Let
some
me
camps.
finish this.
Yes, sorry. I'm really sorry. I interrupted you way too much.
There was we had the crowd, right? And it's like back then we didn't have the opportunities like this with Blast. We were all
True.
Wii fans.
True.
So we're Wii fans in the crowd. I had just started uni. Oh, hi guys. And Masters now, so we're way past
We're like,
way past
woo.
that.
Ciao,
But
ciao, bye-bye
I'm
now.
gonna stand closer because I just realized when I stand back. These are my work pants. I came from work and it does not match the fit. So I'm gonna stand closer.
You want to swap like a
Swap
blue
pants?
jeans? I don't know if I found that, but hey.
but we're there and we're watching FaZe, and like Liquid got eliminated the day before. And after the game ends, Kerrigan, my love, he was still with FaZe.
I'm so sad I never met him. I wish I met him.
And I have a photo with him from that event. And they came down to like talk to the fans, take a picture. And there's like Emna Araras, right? Everybody.
Should we give a translation for the crowd, for the fans? There was a large amount of humans populated in the area.
I mean,
There's
bro,
a lot
we're
of people.
MCL. If you don't know what that means, I mean, there was Jabrada, a collection.
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
pushing forward to try and get pictures with these
I mean,
players. I turned
Kind of understandable.
kind of understandable. I'm there. I'm not trying to get one of these pictures, right? I turn to my left. Who's there? Also, like trying to put this fucking Nev, bro.
Just chilling there.
No, it's like he's standing up, trying to like get to the face. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my god, it's Nev. And he like turned around. He like looked at me. I was like, oh.
Did you say anything to them though?
Sorry, I'm not. I'm sorry for doxing you, bro. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
And how was it? You took a photo with him at least?
Not Nev. I go with Kerrigan though. So
Okay, fair.
I go with Kerrigan.
I actually have a photo with Naf.
All right.
Once.
Oh, just like 2018.
There
though.
you go, you
Oh,
remember
my
it, you
days.
remember it.
I was at this event and I left on the final day.
Oh man, for context, they brought the Team Liquid team for like an extra day or two to take some photos of the fans. And if
SK,
you,
back when it was
exactly.
SK.
And if you guys want to know how long back we're talking about, Team Liquid was Stewie 2K. We had Twists, we had Elige, Naf, and Nitro. Mental
Crazy, bro.
lineup. Wasn't that the same lineup? Actually, no, Cloud9 one. Never mind.
That's one of my favorite rosters, I have to say.
I'll be
mean,
honest, that was a very fun roster to see.
I hate how the Stu story has ended up, but it is
Yeah,
what it is. But
I
you
mean,
know,
we don't need to bring up what happened, but I
all
think
of
people
those, all of those characters, all those players are such like great personalities.
Oh, 100%.
Naf and the Liege still holding, the old guard.
know. Yeah,
Twist.
like the veteran, like they still have the veteran badge on them.
Exactly. Twist, not arguably, I think objectively the best Canadian player ever.
Yes, 100%.
And
100%.
I mean, like, Nitro's I know they call him this, and it's such a good like nickname, Captain America, bro.
Yes.
When I
yes.
think NA CS, I think Nitro.
I mean, look, if you think about it, what I love about any NA team, they have this like Western modernized mindset and like not PA training, like what's it called, like media training, yeah.
Yes. So we got good
Um,
interviews.
They get good interviews and they just like how to react with the crowd better and stuff.
Yeah,
so it's more
but
fun.
The game
As I
is
said at
back,
the beginning
so we're
of
back
this
with the second
series, they're
half,
not great with
8-4.
the pistol rounds historically
I think
on
this
Dust
is
Two.
Jontix went
I
one
think
and
if they
eight in
could pick
opening
up
duels
both,
in the
then
first half.
we could really be off to the races here.
Enter 1 and 8.
And they've
Wow.
won
Yeah,
six
we have
of the
Donk
rounds
positioned up
where
on
they died
catwalk there,
first.
ready to receive any of the aggression,
Okay.
but initial
So
utility
they're gonna
sent there
use them
from
as a human
Liquid
shield?
for that
Usual
initial
strat, but I mean,
control
might
towards
work.
mid. Obviously, it's a
Maybe.
popular
I mean,
thing
that's
for
the idea.
CTs
So
to
if
be
you
on
guys
cat
has
and
more
into
time to
mid,
focus on the
but it looks
team
like Liquid
and
could
strats.
bypass them here, just
Okay, this is gonna be, I
testing
feel like a
the
very
mid
important round for Team
doors.
Liquid. I think
Spirit,
they
though, not
literally
moving
just have to
position
win
from
this
Cat.
pistol.
Do you remember Elige with hair?
Very good patience from them.
I remember something,
Very
but not
nice
too
from
much.
Liquid. They've
Oh,
got a lot
that's
more work to
crazy,
do though.
mate.
Some more follow-up grenades,
not
a lot
that
of
bad, not that
movements
bad, not
in
that
this
bad.
pistol round, but they'll avoid most of the damage. And how many more CTs do they identify? Oh my word, Sontix, what are you doing? The plays on long completely deleted. It was looking good for a moment for Liquid,
Oh my God,
but they will
Magic.
be dealt with by the
IGL, hello?
numbers of Spirit. That looks so
I'm hearing more than
pedestrian,
5
those
claps
frags
now.
towards
Yeah, now fair
long.
play, fair
Spirit
play.
comfortable
I feel
on
like it was
that.
I wouldn't even say
Yeah,
it was a clutch
Zontix
round.
with incredibly
play.
impactful kills there. Just the
I'm happy
tap
to see
for
people
the
here.
two
I'm
very
happy to see
fast
Falcons share in the
takedowns there
crowd.
on that long position. But otherwise, you know, this was
How
looked like again
Before that's good.
a round
Okay,
where
right
Liquid
there.
was so ready. We see they
Hear
waited for
me
the
out.
top flash, they
Hear me
baited it
out.
I
out.
thought that was him. I can't lie. When I saw
Donk
him,
peeks
the
off
hair,
of it,
yes.
and then
That
Donk
was him.
Hear me
re-peeks
out.
into an
Kusuke,
open angle
oh,
against two
Falcons,
players.
Kusuke,
So you can see that
Kusuke again.
Liquid definitely have done their homework here, but into the next one we go.
Remember?
As Liquid with no bomb plant there on an eco.
So a 4-8 scoreline
a
at
hole
halftime.
has been
About
punctured in your
30% of the
theory.
rounds
You know
for
what it
Liquid on their
was? I
CT
feel like
side.
the Visa issue was
Historically,
laziness.
recently, that's
No,
what
no,
they
I
do
think
on
season
the
one
T
issue
side.
Visa was just laziness. They
So
probably
they
applied
really
too
need
late.
Or it
to
could be
have
as well, like,
reinvented
he
themselves
was
in
quite
a
new
very
to
short
the-
space
to
of
the
time
international circuit
if they
and
are to
kind of was
overcome
caught off
He
by-
was
what
still
is
fresh,
being
but
put
he
in
went
front
to
of
like
them right
majors
now
and stuff.
by
So why
Spirit.
would
And that's going to be
a
compounded with the
random
loss of that
tournament a
pistol
month
round.
per se? You know,
Maybe he didn't.
So
compared
Liquid
to a
might
major.
get to move
Force him out,
through
he
a
should
hole
have
here,
seen.
but it's a gap led by
who knows,
design
who knows?
from
Just live my
Spirit.
life.
They
Maybe
have,
he
of
didn't
course,
want to go to
the
Beltos.
vision
I'll be
from
honest, I think
the
this is
long
the best
cross
time for the
all the
players
way
to
to the
come out
B
because-
doors.
because they get to enjoy
So
Malta.
this is a killing zone
hard
that
to
Spirit have
generate.
set up.
Yeah,
We'll have
compared
to
to
see if
Generate.
Liquid
But when
have
it's not
any
what these- what
counterplay to
people
make
do,
it
they were less
easier
close.
to get across and isolate these fights, but they're just going to be straight into the
factual.
open,
That is
straight
factual.
into the
If
rifles.
you guys ever Malta ever go to the beach, you know what I mean.
I think. I mean, like.
Shiro hungry for one more, but JT is
JT?
not done with this round just yet. And now things get a little uncomfortable.
One more,
Tanir's
I'm doing a
position
backflip.
could be very key
Hit
indeed.
it, hit it.
Bro.
Absolutely, it will be some bonus money with the SMG.
I think.
Should I quickly go
Now
off
the
cam?
second half
Doc?
really
Yes,
begins.
yes.
10
Go arrange
to
what you have to
4.
arrange for
A
us,
big
man.
deficit that
he's gonna
faces
get
Liquid. They've
all
got the
of the good
rifles.
stuff ready
They've got
for
the utility for the most
in-between
part.
maps, for interviews, for
And
some
they've
special
got some
segments.
strats.
All right. So
The question is, will they be enough for the likes of Spirit? Strats
But,
is,
yeah,
is good,
Liquid
but
doing what
sometimes you
Liquid
need
does. It's
something
not
a little
their
bit more,
Okay,
a
guys.
little bit extra. Could that be
wait and see.
Elige and the
Nothing of a
AK-47,
buy
for
round,
example?
right?
No
So we haven't
AWP
got the
in
bomb
this
down
round
yet,
for
but
Liquid.
apart from pistol, but
Spirit getting aggressive there on the catwalk on the CT side, just straight away. Looking to try to catch Liquid and shut them down before they can really get started. And Liquid, they have to make it work in this round. They've got to start the momentum right now. Spirit only 3 away from winning this map, the first opening map here in the quarterfinals. Liquid looking to test the
However,
upper
I feel
tunnels
like we
into
need
that
to
B
take a
site where we have
small,
this setup. Flash over the top,
very tiny break.
to open things
so
up,
we
and
can
there we
discuss
go.
something
Good
while
trades
the
from
fans
Liquid,
enjoy the
and
game.
they're in.
all right.
Very
Yeah,
quick.
tasted their own
Very
medicine.
good DK.
Cutting
We'll be
off the
back in just a
rotation
sec.
is huge there as well. Not catching Shiro. Tanir and Shiro choose to do. When you've got those big flashes into that B bomb site, then normally it is turning and running away for the remainder of that CT squad, and that looks to be the case for Spirit. Uncomfortable rotation for the bomb there with an successful entry in towards B. So that was interesting. Maybe playing on the timing where the CTs are expecting aggression towards short and having less numbers towards B on that occasion.
Yeah, again, I think it's a lot of this research, James, you know, knowing sort of what to expect on some of the defensive setups from Spirit. Spirit are going to be one of the teams, especially on Dust 2, that are the most studied teams. There's the most tape out there for Spirit on this map. You know, generally, that's, you know, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to take down Spirit. Most teams in the world will fail to do so, despite that fact. But at the same time, you know, you could see, I think, some of the prep here. Liquid, it seems like they always kind of know quite what to expect.
Tanir and Shiro will save some rifles. Liquid need to do a good job of keeping Spirit poor as they attempt to mount a comeback. Good use of the numbers there. It's really smart how no Liquid player was standing in front of another there. And the party rolls on, Dan.
Yes, yes. Liquid They had to make that last round work. They found a way to do it. But now Spirit getting aggressive. They've got some of these safe weapons. They're going aggressive into the lower tunnels. Can they find anything here? Magic takes quite a lot of damage. Donk is dug into the position. Shiro, it's all a good setup for him too. And I think Spirit, or rather Liquid, kind of realized this. You can see by the Molotov that is thrown into that position. But they still have to displace Spirit. Spirit are not going to be forced out of this fight. They want to fight to the death, and there's Djorkaeff with the trade.
That's the bomb spotted in lower tunnel. See if there's a reaction to that from the CTs. Plenty of time on the clock though, so not too telling. And there's a good spread from Liquid as well. They're keeping the CTs on this, one towards top mid, one outside long doors. They're keeping their options open. In that respect, Shiro starts to wonder and heads back towards long. Unsure if it's been compromised or not. There will be rotation from Liquid as well. They've still got close to mid doors. Some presence spotted towards long now. There's time to respond to this for both squads.
I mean, this favors the T's always.
Titanir heading over for some rifle support for Shiro.
I love these guys.
I think they got so lucky not to lose a player there. That's a dry peek into Shiro. How often do you survive there with no util? And now Liquid scale in, but still against Shiro, they got to use util, but this is a dry peek. The flash did come over, but Shiro had a great angle to defend it.
Right?
Yeah,
CT's perhaps unsure as to the climate towards short. They'll have to go in that direction now. They have a man advantage for the retake. The bomb's still on long at present, with teammates scaling towards the side. Better get over there before the smoke dissipates. Just a flash left for Liquid. No AWP versus an AWP retake.
Team Liquid round.
And the man disadvantage. This is not going to be easy for the likes of Liquid.
Dangerous approach for Zontix.
Yeah, Zontix by the elevator position. Already close. There's the flash there. Now Spirit looking to scale across. Djorkaeff with a great opener there. Downing to near. More damage needs to be done though. Spirit just trying to get it done off the raw gun battles here. The defense holding so far for Liquid. JT takes down Zontix. Djorkaeff, he will fall on the site. Now down to Naf in that position. But with Shiro, he's so far away. He cannot cover the distance now. I think Liquid have done it here.
Yeah, he's got no kit. There is one on the sides. He can't make the play to peak this time like he did in that first half either. So it will be a 6th round for Liquid. And again, I said they've got to keep the CT spending. Their money absolutely sucks. It'll have to be a hero round for Shiro for the most part, but Liquid are doing everything they need to. They're ticking all the boxes in that respect for the comeback.
Yeah, they managed this aggression really, really well. Again, finding these traits, and that's the kill there. Shiro was getting that, I thought, almost all the time. So I think Liquid had such a gift there that Shiro wasn't able to do more damage. They had just enough bodies to get onto the site with 20 seconds left as well. And suddenly, interesting spot here, but James, the Shiro with an AWP, they can buy next round. He's got pistols with him. This is a dangerous round for Liquid.
How much HP you lose according to how close you are.
Yeah, and it's these kinds of rounds which are weird and the ones you can't necessarily prepare for.
For once, we complete something from them.
I mean, even the buy menu, but if it's good, you know.
So these are rounds where one must be careful because things can go wrong.
I like the old one, but I don't mind the new one.
Let's see how they approach this. They know what the threat is. They can expect some Eagles and 5-7s and such.
Better than any other FPS in my opinion. So just if you can take good systems,
just a smoke for Donk.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
Next thing you know, you get peeking from.
So how do they simplify a round such as this?
I just imagine Donk shoulder peeking.
Yeah, currently towards that B-bomb site, so that will certainly help.
I mean, I've played CS for 9 years.
Yeah, Simplify I think is such a great call-out. They've got the utility here to try to deal with these positions. The Molotov coming in. However, the ramp position, I was going to say, looks open, but maybe by design as Djorkaeff sinks the headshot.
Yeah, I don't know how Shiro gets involved in this with his position.
In reality,
so maybe a case of trying to find some exits.
From Shiro can change that whole.
No need to lose that AWP and have to spend another one. That money could come in handy in future.
Go straight for the save. They don't have a kit.
Yeah, I think you make a great point there in terms of the stylistic difference. If you're the better team, more rounds with the AWP, especially when it's on Shiro, probably converts more of the time for you. So I think that passive option, it doesn't feel good to lose rounds to give them up, but the more passive option I think definitely makes sense for Spirit because again they know that they are heavy favorite here. But James, this is their map. This is their map pick, and this is they are so expected to win this map. So
I'll be honest,
kind of curious, how far Liquid can actually push this momentum forwards against them.
With all due respect, the one thing we kept saying is just all. I think
a little waste of money versus some pistols, but
I barely got it. But yeah,
no big deal.
Last season,
yeah, greatly dealt with by Liquids.
just couldn't hit those shots.
Again, you wonder how far they can go. Even if you fancy Liquid for this one, then there's a question of, do you think they can do a 2-0 or do they have to do it in 3? But again, it's down to them to show us and how much homework they've done. I think it's a very small thing, but that 3-man swing, all being in like giving space for each other to face as well, shows that they've been drilling
now it's more like
quite specifically.
We'll
see how things continue. They have reduced the deficit to 3. Spirit will be back on the bye once again. It's almost a mirror of the first half, actually. The CT side takes the pistol in a second, then we have a flurry of rounds for the T side. We have 4 in a row for Spirit in the first half. This is the 4th round for Liquid
Yeah.
to continue that mirror. So let's see what Spirit are able to do.
Major for CSGO.
Again, both snipers delivering
He blew up.
in this game of Dust 2.
He was
The timing here from Elise is really, really quick to Xbox. Looks like Liquid are putting up a pace here. Could catch Spirit.
Like
True.
last CS Major with Apex.
Yes, Apex.
So Tennille will give some sound cues with his reload.
So I call them Apex, the difference.
Oh, is that really?
It almost
I
looks a
don't
bit
think it's
deliberate. Maybe he's trying to
pronounced that way,
invite
but
peek
that's what I
towards
say.
the door if someone pokes out later on. We'll see
Then
how that
now
one
he
plays
was
out.
first
Yes.
CS2-1, but then that's it. Like his career ended. with
No,
that
he still
then.
played some other
Yeah, I
tournaments.
know.
Like
And then
subs
he
in.
went on loan. He took a break. He went on loan, but
Magic's
Recently
just
played for
waiting
Mouse,
to
no?
respond
Yeah,
to a
but
take of
face
shorts
it,
here.
like his tier 1 career ended once.
Yeah.
Good timing.
He got the trophy.
Spirit give,
That's
they
more than
give
enough.
up the
And
B side
and
here to
MVP.
play more of
Ever
that mid
followed him on
defense.
Twitter?
So
He spent
Spirit
like
seem to be
months begging
expecting
Valve to put the
that
trophy in his
Liquid are going to try to
Oh, really?
pressure
I
mid
thought-
itself, but Liquid actually focusing on
There was
Catwalk right now instead.
The mix-up of,
Maltz just
trophies,
dropped a
for
Molotov
last major.
behind the
Was
door.
given to the wrong IGL.
That's crazy.
I don't know if they
50 seconds on the clock, and there's a big
I feel
flash
like
as
it's worse
Tennille
for
will
the player that got
deliver.
removed from the team.
Yeah,
Interesting
for sure.
developing
Like,
story there from earlier
Oh,
on.
it wasn't even a
Now
mix-up,
that Lurk
it
has
was
been
the
dealt
player
with,
lock.
how big of an
Kerrigan
indicator is that for Spirit, who
was
already
a
have 3 players defending this A bomb site?
Well, right now it works out for Liquid a little bit because the B players go back into the site. They're expecting a pop in this timing. The pop is going to be from Cat onto A, and Shiro, he can probably delay here for quite some time. The
Crazy,
volley
okay.
goes a little bit deep there. Oh, they
Makes sense.
take down the first player, Pantry, Graffiti, JT, great entry onto Shiro, and now maybe a chance here for Liquid, but Tennille holds down that long position, and suddenly it's all on JT and Jorko.
This angle has to work for him. He spots a second one. They know where that last player is. Over towards Long.
Both low HP.
Makes him
It's up to
really
JT.
low. 15 HP for Donk.
Donk.
With the M4. As JT tries to find where he's coming from, but he's exposed himself to the short boxes. And
Still,
Donk's
forward,
able
he
to
should
secure
have.
a hammer who only sees
he
nails,
just didn't, like,
securing
put a head pop there.
Spirit's 11th here.
Look at Donk.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
JT
see
in
it,
that
I see it, I
position.
see
I mean, the
it,
fact
I
that
see
Donk
it.
You're not
makes
slick,
that
bro.
move with
You're
such
not
little
slick,
HP, you're so... If a
We know
person
it's
flicks you,
you.
you don't get the insta-headshot.
Dude,
You'll
it's good for
definitely
the makeup,
dying
boom,
there.
boom.
So it just goes to show that Donk understands the timings of the
I feel
game. He
like by mistake.
recognized there was a play to be made. Amazing stuff here. Jorko going for that re-peek onto Donk. Definitely bold. He actually hits him too. So you can't. I
wouldn't
don't
know,
think you
though.
can really be too unhappy about it.
Changing it so often that sometimes
Yeah, we need to
Oh,
find-
that's so
I think
unlucky
for
from a
some,
Liquid
maybe
point
my
of view.
Future games, as if they give us a feed, we just no commentary and we do it ourselves.
15
So, I think
HP.
that might be better.
You want to try that?
I was reviewing
That could be
before
quite a
Splash
decisive
anyway,
round,
like
but
the
let's see how
whole
it
time,
continues.
there's like
There will be a
2
buy here
voices
for Liquid,
asking
but you
the
see the
commentators.
shortcomings. Margot
okay.
to Desert Eagle this time.
Try it tomorrow. You're not even here tomorrow.
Unable to trade Magic's in that short
Saturday.
position. He has done great work there.
Okay, yeah, we can
Taking
try it,
2
we can
players.
try
2 for 1 is fantastic when you're on the CT side. If you can take 2 players with you, you have done a good job.
Especially this early, before Liquid have had the opportunity to deploy a lot of utility or really force the Team Spirit to spend much. So it really is the worst case scenario. And this, of course, would put Spirit on 12 rounds. How do you save this? They're going to try to scale up Catwalk. A nice headshot onto Shiro.
I get so distracted.
Tennille on an island. Shiro's able to save his bacon though, and this round is not going anywhere where Liquid would like it to. Marvel's put out of his misery towards the end. Not enough
Magic's
progress,
nice
no
and
bomb
happy.
plant, not enough frags. There's no metric where that was successful for Liquid whatsoever, and Spirit find themselves on game points.
Yeah, Spirit look just, you know, like Spirit looks on Dust 2. Just a very, very strong team. And so it's no surprise that the scoreline looks like this. I think though for Liquid, I feel like they must feel extremely competitive in this game, James, given how close some of these key rounds have been. And so regardless as to what happens here, Liquid are probably going to feel pretty good about this Dust 2. And I mean, it's not over just yet, but if we're thinking about where the money's at, it's in the bin right now for Liquid.
It is very close to over. Looking at the buy that Liquid have to muster for this one, and if they are to lose this, I think that pivotal moment is that 1v1 JT and Donk where the whole game changes, because they were doing a really good job of keeping Spirit's backs to the wall.
Blast trophy,
but that changed everything, the donk factor.
And it's so crazy because to your point,
I feel like
peaked donk and hit it, he legged him. So it's like it's just the finest of margins.
Yeah, but so brutal, so brutal. Okay. But let's see if there's anything left. The Desert Eagles are out on the T side. Jorko with the scout.
Yes, way back when.
Do you remember when
it's going to have to be the hard way.
A stage with 40 PCs, 8 teams.
Spirit quite aggressive in the sense that they're looking for these positions. Mid and Cat, good defense there from Shiro. Again, this is one of the hardest players you could possibly face in this kind of a position with an AWP. And here goes Liquid again. They will tear Shiro. Pulls off the angle before he can maybe get that catch onto the drop into pit. But now look at Spirit go. They're all well set up for this defense.
That's a really important
right there.
With the scout while the pistols close the distance. Able to avoid the HE into the smoke as well.
You mentioned it.
Donk is hungry for engagement. 4 players focused on A here for Spirit. Donk looks to thin these numbers out, and he will do exactly that. JT to trade. 1 minute on the clock.
JT gets a headshot here.
So many people coming his way. 6 HP in a dream. JT's going to try and find a way to make this happen, but he won't. That leaves Jorko and the scouts. Nothing doing in that regard, and Spirit, after that 1v1, will be able to secure the first map of the series.
Yeah, I agree. We'll just do this for us so we can finish our little storyboard.
So, story time. Blast 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Where this tournament where they'd have like 8 setups, 8 like team setups. So 40 players at the same time playing 4 games live at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. And I remember we had PlayCon 2019, the very first one in Malta.
Okay.
And Blast had a booth. And I went. And back then, the naming convention, and they still kind of follow it to this day, not as much, but the naming convention was, for the event, would be Blast City. So Blast Lisbon, Blast
Yes, I remember
Stockholm,
that. Yes,
Blast
I remember that.
Copenhagen. And I went up to the guys of Blast. How old was I? I think I was 16.
2019?
17?
Yeah, I think we were 16.
I was 16 at that point. I was about to turn 17. I was 16. I went up. Oh, hi, guys. I'm saying this like this is 7 years ago.
You know he's dedicated to the circus. He puts on his natural voice changer.
Let me get down on my knees as well, so I get
What's that supposed to be?
The same height,
I don't think
bro.
you had that big of a growth
height,
spurt in 3
bro.
years.
I
feel like 3 years ago I was like
mean.
this tall, bro. I was still like roughly the same height.
But anyways, I went and I said, "Are we ever gonna see Blast Valletta or Valletta?" I said Valletta, you know, it sounds fancy, but we're gonna see Blast Valletta, and they laughed. The first thing they did was they laughed. Ouch. Okay, they laughed. And but I mean, they said, you never know.
Fair.
You never know. And I mean,
Politically correct answer.
Yeah, fair enough. The media trained answer.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
It's not Valletta, right? It's Taali. But we do have Blast in Malta, and it's great.
I feel like we can't even call it Taali. We just call it Blast Malta.
We're in Taali, bro.
I know. Actually, fun fact. The staff actually still use that naming scheme. You didn't know.
What do you mean?
So when they address different tournaments,
yes.
For example, there's Blast Bounty, Blast Rivals, and so on and so forth. They still base them on the country.
Some of them are still
city.
just straight up Blast. Like there was like Blast Lisbon recently.
Yeah,
like
there's gonna be Blast Porto soon.
Yeah, I mean Blast Porto. Sorry. Yeah,
there you
go.
go.
So
but yeah,
they're both in Portugal, so it's okay.
Yes, I know my geography.
You know your geography.
Where to Portugal? Sorry.
If you know your geography,
hit me with it. If you go ask me some bullshit question like where the fuck is Zimbabwe, I'm gonna. I know where Zimbabwe is actually.
Sounds bullshit. But where was the first CS:GO major held?
CS:GO major? Cologne? No.
I don't know.
I think it was Cologne. No, it was not Cologne. Alright, I'll be honest. I'm gonna fact check. First CS:GO. I'm gonna fact check this. Fact
check.
DreamHack winner was where? Sweden. Oh.
John Kopink.
I feel like you butchered that like mad. It's like Junko and then Ping. But yeah, that was the first major. Should we take the little break?
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Should we take the
Anubis
time to
up next. Liquid up next.
switch off of 720p?
Yes, guys, we're gonna cut very quick. We'll be back. You'll have the analysts taking you through getting ready for the second map. We're gonna cut for just a sec to upgrade the stream's resolution, and we'll see you soon.
Sorry, guys.